and welcome back to another Lich King build series of the Fanhome kit. We're still going to be working on the lower torso today. Last time we finished the legs completely. We don't have the covers on them, but we have the ankles, we have the calves, we have the hips, we have the thighs. Everything is in here. So we're going to be working on a little bit more, including the covers for these and some of the greaves. We did a way long time ago. We did one of the greaves. We're going to be working on the second one now. So we'll have one for each leg. We don't know how these are going to mount, but we're getting closer and closer. So this is going to be on the outside, obviously. There'll be some clothing to go over this as well, and then there'll be mounting like this or something like that on the body here as we get it complete. So we'll be working on this. We'll be working on some more plating here to sort of give you an idea of the skeletal frame on the inside. But no more sort of intricate pieces. These are getting simpler and simpler as this goes on the assembly stages. So we're going to be going from number 33 all the way to 38. So we're almost at the halfway point. I think it's 110. So we're getting there once we get to 55. So we're only about, I don't know, about 15 away from being at the halfway point. So let's see where we are after we complete these steps. Okay, so this is our reference. This is what we're going to be building here. So we have another one of these kits. So 33 will be these two parts here. And you simply are just lining them up like so. There's only one way to do it. You can't put this in upside down. If you did, it just wouldn't fit. So it should snap into place. And then you're going to take some of these screws here that come with it. You're going to use your screwdriver from phase 1. I told you to hold on to that screwdriver. I mean, if you ever lost this, I mean, I like the magnetic tip on it. If you ever lost it, you could just get some precision screwdrivers, and that will help you make those connections with these tiny screws. But hopefully you haven't lost it, because it is kind of important to have this screwdriver through all the phases. You also get that, I don't have it with me, but the little Allen key wrench that is specific for some of the hex screws that you'll be putting on. So you're going to want to tighten these in, and I'll just show you one there. And then there's two more. And then once you get all those in, it's going to go on top of, here's part 34. So 34, it just kind of presses on. I should have did the top one first so I could actually show you this and then get the other one later. So you really just need to put the top one on for now so you can make the connection for 34. So once you get this one in here, all the way in, here we go. All right, now that that's nice and tight, it's not going anywhere, you're going to put, so this is all plastic, this is die cast. So now you're going to put this on top of here. It will just slide right in once you get it lined up, and you're just going to kind of push it in. Well, it should be pushed in. So this one's fighting me a little bit. Or do I have it upside? I have it upside down. That would be why. So there you go. Only one way to do it. There's your demonstration. I meant to do that. So, okay. So now you push this in. That is it. That is all for assembly part 34. I guess I didn't need to put that screw in right now. That is all you need for assembly part 34. It's just literally pushing these in together. Assembly part 35. Now you're going to take the skull. You're going to line it up, push it on. Only one way to do this. And then you're going to put the little horn in here. Now, before I put that horn in there, it is just pressure fitted. So what I want to do is take a little bit of this super glue ultra gel and put a little dab in here, because the problem is I've had it come out several times on the other one, and it's literally just pressure fitted. There's no reason I have to take this out. So this way you're going to get a nice permanent hold, and then you don't have to worry about this thing coming out on you. So now that I have that in there, I have another matching little armor set for his leg. Looks pretty nice. You got your die cast, you got your plastic parts, and everything else is held in place there. And that's it. I'm going to put that last screw in there while we transition to the next step, and we're going to be working on the legs again. Okay, here we go. Well, we have our body, lower torso frame that we built, and we're going to be attaching this odd metal piece. There's only really one way this could go on. I mean, I guess you could flip it around, but we'll put it on this way. We'll put the shiny side facing forward. But this is it. I mean, it goes on here. And once this is on, you're just going to take these little washers. And I'm not going to do every single one. I'm just going to show you one here. You take these little washers and you're going to put them on here, and then you're going to attach them with the screws. And that's basically it. That's all you're going to do here for the torso. I don't know what this piece is. Well, I guess we'll find out in a subsequent step, but it looks like it's going to be a frame for more parts for the central body here. So now we're going above the torso, or the lower torso. We're getting into the chest area. So we'll see what this looks like as we get it all together. But that is really all you're doing here, is just putting these screws in. So once you get them on, it should hold this in place. Now this is just a thin piece of aluminum. This doesn't feel like it's got a lot of heft to it, so I don't know where this is going. We'll find out soon. But that's really it for this step. What is this? We're up to 36. So this step, you're just going to be mounting this plate on here, and that's it. We're completely done with that. The next step after that, 37, that's an easy one. It just says to hold this for future assembly. There are no instructions. Kind of an odd choice. I've never seen them just say hold this for future assembly. So this is the first time we're not doing anything in a phase. So we're just holding that one for a next step. And then the next step immediately, 38, is we're attaching this. So we are putting this here, this way, on the inside of this base, and you can see it all snap in together. And then we have two sizes of screws we're going to be using to connect it. So this looks like it's the cover for the back of our hips, essentially. So the bigger screws will be going into the three bigger holes, like this. And you got to make sure you don't over tighten, because it's plastic on plastic, right? It's not die cast, so you don't want to strip it. And then we have the smaller screws will be going into the smaller holes, and I think there's 4 smaller holes. So, and that's really it. I'll just show you one of these. They go in these smaller holes here. Once you get them the grip, yep. And that's it. They will go in this way. You want to make sure you get them flush mount, but not over tighten. So, delicate little dance you got to do with these things. And don't be afraid with some of the ones that are metal on metal to use like a ratcheting screwdriver or something to get a little extra torque in there. You want to make sure it's a solid connection. You don't want it jiggling. So that's really it. After we mount these two, it'll look like this. I'm going to assume at some point, once we have all this assembled, it will go and mount in here. I can see all the holes that it connect in here like this, and it'll mount in your back, and that will be your back half. And look at that. We got all the way up to the midsection of the chest. Once we get this, there'll probably be another side over here. So this looks like it'll be sandwiched between 2 of these pieces, one in the front, one in the back. So it has a little bit more form to it. I think it's just giving you a little bit more to grip onto on the body here. But that's essentially our lower torso. Somewhat of a quick one today. We got our second part of our little leg armor here. So we have 2 of these now. Well, we got our torso frame attached to our bottom half of the torso. And then we got our butt and our lower back section in here. So we're ready to get this connected. Once we have the front side, I'm sure it's all going to just go together. But you can really see this starting to take shape, the internal skeleton. Of course, this is all going to be covered by all different sorts of clothing and capes and other armor and whatnot. So you won't even see these parts. But they're just giving you the frame of the torso. We, of course, did the feet already. We just haven't connected them. So we have pretty much the entire lower torso built at this point, at least the frame of it. And we're starting to get into the upper torso section. So I imagine in future steps we'll be working on hands, we'll be working on arms, we'll be working on the chest. We already have the helm done, so the head can just connect onto the body whenever it's ready. And so we have probably a lot more phases to go where we're going to be focusing just on body and some more armor. Remember, we only did 1 shoulder armor. So we have a lot more armor to build for this guy, and we have a lot more of the body frame to get on there before we start putting on the clothing and stuff like that. And we got to finish with the sword. I mean, all we did was the hilt, not even the entire hilt. So we have a lot more to go on that as well. The electronic component, of course, is there in the hilt. I think our battery died at this point because it's been so long in the build, like a year. So we have to go back and get a new battery for that. But It's easy to access where the battery is on that guy anyway. So just to keep that in mind as you're doing these builds, they do take a while, so you're likely going to need a new battery by the time you get to use the character. So that is all for this time. Tune back for more Lich King build as we get more phases moving forward. We're getting toward our halfway point, so we'll give you an idea of where you are after about 55 steps of assembly, what he looks like half done. And then I don't know like what the future phases are going to be. So sometimes it's like really big pieces you put on and you advance a little bit, and sometimes it's really small pieces, like just half a lower back section, and that's the entire step. So you don't know. Sometimes it can be big, and sometimes it's just a question mark on why that's even its own little phase. So that's where we are. Stay tuned for more. Like, subscribe, and follow. See you guys next time.